you just want a W-A-L-K. Sorry, I had to charge my camera again because it started, the battery was going out. Do you have any pets? Well, that one kind of got answered for you guys because my dog just trumped in here. Why do you make YouTube videos? This is a really good question, actually. I started making YouTube videos because I watched other speed art drawings, you know what I'm talking about, on YouTube a long while back. And I've always wanted to make YouTube videos, but I didn't get around to it till I was older, which is totally fine, you know. Do you speak any languages? Besides English, no, and that's really unfortunate. I wish I knew every language so I could talk to everybody, but I have a long business trip coming up and would like to take along a good art book to read. Have any recommendations? I'm going to be honest with you, I don't read too many art books. I read a lot of I read a lot of self-help books and personal finance books, but if I could recommend something that I know you'll absolutely love is, I'm a total sucker for art history documentaries, and if you look up some of the BBC documentaries, they are so freaking, they will blow your mind. What's your blood type? I honestly have no idea. Positive. Somebody asked what weather. I like mid-tone weather, like it's not too hot and not too cold. Call me freaking Goldilocks, but when it's too hot, and it gets really hot in the summer in California, I'm not a happy person to be around. I just complain and want popsicles. Okay, so now we're on to the next section, which would be art-related questions. So let's go. Who or what inspired you to take part in art? I'm gonna blame my mom on this one because ever since I was really young, she just got me to be crafty. She gave me little things to work on, and I remember that was a really big bonding thing between my mom and I. When did you realize you loved art and that you were good at it? That's a really hard question for me because I can't even think about my life separate from art. When did I realize that I was good at it? Again, like I identified myself as somebody that liked art because I put a lot of time and effort into it. If you could use only one of your drawing supplies for the rest of your life, what would it be? That's a hard question. That is a really hard question. But I'd have to go with pen and ink because I love the way ink looks. And if you're gonna make me choose between the ink or you know what? Just give me the ink and I will whittle my own little bamboo stick or something. How many people in your life told you negative things about art? And what was it they told you? You know, I don't feel like I've had people like picking at my art. I've had a lot of negative things regarding doing it as a career, and I just like don't listen anymore. Like it's like a ringing sound goes off when somebody does that to me. Do you have a favorite artist? My favorite artist that is currently living and with us today would be Josephine Wall. I love her use of color. It's so beautiful. Please Google her. Do you like to have music on in the background when you draw? And if so, what do you usually play? Okay, I'm crazy. When I'm working on a piece of, you know, art, I am going for it. I like a lot of movement when I'm making something, and I have to have music on because I move to the beat. I literally, sometimes I'm dancing while I'm drawing or painting. It's kind of a sight to be seen. What do you think of 19th century illustrator Gustave Doré? Is it Doré? Doré? I looked him up earlier after reading your comment, and oh my goodness, his work is incredible. Very, very good stuff. I would recommend everybody go look him up. It's very pow, like it hits you, and you can see all the detail in his work, and that is something I really admire. So thank you for giving me another artist that I can go be jealous of. No, I'm just kidding. What I really wanted to ask is if you could show me how to shade things in smooth. You shade things in smoothly by using toilet paper. That is my ultimate secret weapon. Will you do more sketchbook flip-throughs, please? I don't have any more sketchbooks to show you except for the one that I'm currently working on, and naughty me, I haven't been updating you guys on that. It's not like I haven't been drawing in it because I have been. I keep forgetting to upload the pictures onto my Facebook page because I'm just a naughty girl. Do you like drawing requests? When it comes to YouTube, yes, I absolutely love drawing requests. If you're talking about somebody coming up to me and saying, please draw me for free, no artist likes to hear. I'm not trying to be mean, it's just, it can be really hard when you're an artist and people expect you to do things for them just because, and it's like, well, excuse me, I have other things to do in my life besides draw your face. You know, you gotta take your art seriously, and if you're trying to do this for a living, you need to be like, which type or style of art do you dislike? If I look at a canvas and it's just lacquered with white paint, I'm like, oh, are you serious? Like, I just spent like 100 million hours on my piece of paper and you just painted this white. How creative is that? But you know what? I know I'm not the only one to feel that way. However, it's still art, even though a lot of people don't like that, and I can't hate on that. I just personally would never buy it. Will you take your artwork into digital art? I would really like to, and I know that's the way of the future, and I should be. I really enjoy working with my hands. I'm a very tactile person. Touch is my favorite sense. I really like working with materials. Can you show more of your artwork? I can. Let's see, something interesting to show you guys. I think you guys have seen this one. Blah. This is my favorite picture I've done so far in my life. And it's pen and ink. And then I really like this one as well. Lurg. This is oil paint on Bristol board. This was actually the beginning of a tutorial I was doing a long time ago. And as you can see, my cat stepped on it. Yay, animals. Are you ever going to draw with crayons or chalk? Chalk? Maybe. Crayons? Crayons are my arch enemy. I seriously, ever since I was a little kid, I'm like, what is this stuff? The only art with crayons that I enjoy is if I'm melting them. Did you always like to draw with charcoal? No, I actually used to hate drawing with charcoal. I'm not lying. I hated charcoal because the only thing I knew about was compressed charcoal. The one that everybody knows about is just that little block of just dark and it doesn't erase and everything. But once I discovered vine charcoal, which is completely different and it works like a charm, I started really loving charcoal and I did more drawings with it. What is your favorite drawing art piece you have ever done? I'll have to go find that. It's somewhere far away. How much would you say you have improved with drawing throughout your life? A lot. Specifically, I had 2 spikes, or like, I don't know, in my performance, and those 2 spikes happened. For one, when I was in 8th grade, I learned how to shade, and that was a really big breakthrough for me once I started becoming a freshman. And honestly, like, my art wasn't like fantastic or anything, but I remember it made a huge difference. And then the other spike I had was once I took a break from school. After I started going to college, I took I believe it was just a semester long break, and I worked on art just like the whole time, and I improved a lot. Now we're going to move on to our final little question parts, which is going to be art tips. So throwing some art tips at you. Some of these might have to turn into full-length videos, but what advice would you give to someone who is just starting out with art, sketching, drawing, and wants to self-learn? Be very patient, you know what I mean? Think of it like you're climbing stairs. Don't expect to just teleport to the top of the staircase. You are going to slowly get up there, and it makes you feel really good because you're achieving something. I was wondering if there are certain shapes or pictures, etc., that are better to learn to draw for absolute beginners. I'd have to say the best thing that you could probably do if you're learning is shading is so important, and also being able to outline things really well, you know what I mean? I would say setting up some simple shapes like a sphere and then putting a harsh light on it. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's, what is that called? It's a still life. Do you have any tips for doing portraits with charcoal? Like how to blend the charcoal to look smooth, like skin on the face? I'm telling you, that toilet paper, it works like a charm. And also, you have to understand that when you're doing portraits, it's gonna take you a long time until you get them to look like real people, if you know what I'm saying. It is a craft. and you're not going to get there overnight. It's going to take a lot of time to figure out. It's the symmetry in the face and being able to capture the shadows correctly. And if I could give you one tip that has really helped me, I remember when I really wanted to learn how to draw portraits, I would open up fashion magazines and I would tear out pictures that were close-ups of faces, and then I would draw them. What are some affordable art organizer supplies that I would recommend? You know what? Get as creative as possible with it. And honestly, for instance, you could use tissue boxes and deck it out and make it really cool. Just be really creative. If you're on a budget, don't think that you can't organize things. Bedazzle things that are stuff that you'd find in your trash, but you'd be surprised about what you can find. I actually really like, if I'm getting containers, either I went out to eat, because I love going out to eat. Some of the containers that you'll get are perfect for organizing. Whew. Last question. Do you know how I could make my own canvas? I'm sorry, I don't, unfortunately. However, if I do learn, I will definitely share it with you. There was actually one more question somebody left me recently that wasn't on my list, and that question was, what is your biggest fear? And I was like, oh, okay, that's a really good question. My biggest fear is living a boring life. That is my biggest fear. I don't want to ever have to just do something that's very just traditional. I want to have a really exciting, fun, and memorable time on this earth. That's all the questions that you guys asked me. If I didn't get to, I printed out all of the questions, so I don't know what had happened if I wasn't able to get to that, and I recently just looked on my computer for that last question because somebody sent it in just now. So there you go. I love you all so much. Take care. Thank you for participating in this and asking me all these fabulous questions. If you have any more questions that you want to ask me, I'm opening that up to my Tumblr. I love you and have an amazing day. Mwah.